Good day, everyone. My name is John Finley, and today I'll be talking to you about the communication challenges associated with economic globalization. Section 2. Why is economic globalization occurring? Many jobs are now outsourced to overseas countries because of less expensive labor. The ability of lesser developed countries like India, China, or Vietnam to induce American and other developed countries' corporations to outsource the production of goods to a lesser developed country like theirs increases the profit margin of the corporation. This entices more corporations from these more developed countries to seek the same pledge for their company's profitability. Some examples of things that are now built overseas and imported into America or other developed nations include toys, solar panels, car parts, and even now call servicing centers are being shipped overseas and being allowed to do customer service. Immigrants from other countries are making America their home. President Obama said in a speech earlier this month, in recent years, 1 in 4 of America's new small business owners were immigrants. 1 in 4 high-tech startups in America were founded by immigrants. 40% of Fortune 500 companies were started by a first or second term generation American. This is an expanding globalization by bringing foreign investment to America. Many foreign car makers now build cars in America instead of importing them. This is bringing globalization to America's shores. Immigrants moving to America and starting business is bringing the world, making the world smaller and bringing us closer together. Major markets like China and India are opening to other countries that can expand business. Corporations within the developed nations can grow new markets by helping developing nations increase their standard of living and building new communities. Recently, Ford Motor Company CEO Alan Mulcahy stated that the company is expanding plans to use India as an export hub, including supplying vehicles to recession-hit Europe, and expects as much as 40% of its global sales to come from Asia-Pacific region within 5 years. Deliveries to Chinese dealers climbed 8.3% from a year earlier, according to GM, General Motors. Ford said its sales grew 7% in the same time frame on sales to China. This is not just happening with the car manufacturers, but in all businesses. American businessmen are realizing that we must expand into other global markets to export our goods and seek new opportunities to make money. Another thing that has caused the global expansion is the transportation. Reduction of transportation costs have significantly assisted the rapid expansion of globalization. Transportation is one of the least visible but critical components of the global economy by supporting a wide array of movements of passengers and freight between nations. Reductions of costs have fueled the economic globalization. Expansion of imports and exports with larger and more cost-effective transportation is probably the biggest reason of the transportation expansion. Faster and cheaper transportation systems allow multinational corporations to build manufacturing facilities across the globe while maintaining scheduled frequent deliveries of parts and finished products. For example, advances in the aviation system allow businesses to substitute just-in-time deliveries from remote manufacturing plants in place of large inventories. What that means, instead of having 15 items on the shelf that cost $10,000 a piece, you can keep one on the shelf, and if you need another one, you just call them up and they'll deliver it by plane in a couple of days. Today, about 1/3 of the world trade consists of shipments between branches of multinational companies. Worldwide communication abilities have allowed the expansion of globalization as well. Globalization accelerates the change of technology. Every day it seems that a new technological innovation is being created. The pace of change occurs so rapidly, many people are always playing catch-up, trying to purchase or update their new devices. Technology is now forefront of the modern world, creating new jobs, innovations, and networking sites to allow individuals to connect globally. Think about the last time the new iPhone came out and how people stood in line to receive the new device. This type of innovation continues to drive the growth of globalization. Workers in different continents can now interact and collaborate as though they were all located in the same building. The expansion of international video teleconference, cell phone capabilities, and asynchronous working ability has significantly expanded the growth of international trade and globalization. The ability to communicate and interact across oceans, deserts, and cultures will cause the continued growth of globalization and shrinking of the world as we know it. Thank you. That concludes my portion.